Do you want to know how to get your offer accepted in this crazy market? Well, then stay tuned. Hi, I'm Kim Block, Realtor here in the La Quinta and the Greater Palm Springs area. If this is the first time to this channel and you want to learn more about the La Quinta and Greater Palm Springs area, make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the little bell so you'll be notified every time I do a new video. Also, be sure to hit the thumbs up below. In this type of competitive market, it can be exhausting and it takes some patience as well. I know many buyers can get frustrated in this market right now, but there are ways to make your offer more competitive. So let's dive in. Before you even go out to hunt for your dream home, make sure that you have been pre-approved or pre-qualified by a local lender. You will also need proof of funds. This way you are ready to go. In this market, your dream home will be gone if you don't have these in hand. Remember, it usually takes a couple of days to get these approvals. Let's say you have found your home of choice and you want your agent to write up a purchase agreement. Your agent should have a conversation with the listing agent first to see if there's anything they can tell you that the sellers might like to see on their offer. Some sellers may want a longer escrow to find their replacement property, or perhaps they just want to get the heck out of Dodge and want a quick close. The sellers may even want to rent back for a month or so, so it's very important to find out this information prior to writing your offer. The more accommodating you can be, the better your offer will be received. Just food for thought here. If the sellers mention they want to rent back for a month or so, why not offer them free rent for that period? Sellers will love this as it takes a lot of pressure off of them. And who doesn't love free rent for a month or so? Make your offer as clean as possible. This might mean waiving some contingencies in order to make your offer more appealing to the seller. A clean offer should not be contingent on the sale of another property or have any other financial constraints. You certainly don't want to ask for any seller's concessions, such as help with your closing costs, especially in this market. Other contingencies like loan and appraisal contingencies are the big ones to avoid. Everyone's situation is different, but see if you can waive the appraisal and loan contingency. Waiving the appraisal contingency can be risky if you don't have the cash to cover any shortfall between offer price and appraised price. Removing the appraisal contingency can set you apart from the other offers. Just make sure you are in a strong financial position to take that risk. Appraisal gaps are one of the most common strategies used by home buyers to get their offer accepted in a competitive real estate market. An appraiser will likely value a home for less than its contract price when homes appreciate faster than appraisers can justify. Just know that the low appraised value can cause the deal to go south. Let's say the home is listed at $500,000 and it ends up going under contract for $550,000. This can be a challenging situation. If the appraised price comes back at $500,000, the buyer may need to bring in an extra $50,000 cash to the table, or the seller may need to drop the price to $500,000. Sometimes the contract falls apart because no resolution can be found. When buyers offer an appraisal gap, they will state that they have the extra funds to fill in the gap between the appraised value and the contract price. They will also waive their appraisal contingency. This is just one other thing that gives an extra assurance to the seller so they won't be in a position to need to lower their price. This will make your offer more appealing to the seller because you have less opportunity to back out of your contract. There are ways to protect yourself if you have waived these contingencies on your offer. You can have your loan fully underwritten. This means that your entire loan process is complete before making an offer. This way you can be more confident in knowing you have little to no risk. Do use a reputable mortgage lender. When listing agents receive offers from buyers, one of the first things they do is verify the lender and pre-approval letter. Your agent should know of some great lenders in the area. It's very important to use local lenders who know how to work with local HOA. Some lenders have bad reputations for sabotaging deals, and you do not want the listing agent knowing any of these lenders and sharing this with their sellers. How about shortening your inspection period? This is your inspection period where you have your home inspector check the property and do an in-depth inspection of the structure and systems, such as the AC and furnace. This is often a time when a property falls out of escrow due to a poor inspection. If you offer a shorter timeline for the inspection, such as 10 days rather than the 17 days, a seller might accept your offer over others, knowing that if something does come back on the report, the sellers can get back on the market sooner than later. If you choose to do this, make sure you have your contractors and inspectors lined up and ready to go so you can do your proper due diligence. Another great idea is to sign off on your home inspection contingency. Many investors will do this knowing that they're going to rehab the property anyway. Maybe the seller has provided inspection reports, or if they don't provide you with any inspection report, you can have the home inspection done and let the seller know that you won't be asking for any repairs. You can also offer to pay a monetary value to help pay for the seller's moving expenses. This is not very common, but very unique, which will make it more effective. Most sellers would love this offer. When doing this, the seller gains the financial benefits without being added to the home sale price. Try to avoid asking for personal property like the beautiful chandelier in the entrance that you can't stop drooling over. If the seller has exclusions, please don't ask for those. Keep in mind that we are in a seller's market and it's not the right time to be making lowball offers and hoping a seller will bite. You will be writing offer after offer and will figure it out sooner or later. Some sellers think because the market is red hot that they can put an outrageous list price on their home and get it. I have seen a handful of listings where sellers have done this, even in this market. Frequently, they end up lowering the price to get some traction. Once they do this, they get showings and an offer. If you see that it's been on the market for a few weeks with no offers, then you may have a fighting chance to offer a lower purchase price. Please don't ask your agent to write a love letter. This is a thing of the past. Listing agents now view these letters as a problem. Unfortunately, this practice has caused fair housing lawsuits because buyers would assume that the seller rejected their offer due to race and social class. Again, it's super important to make your offer strong enough to beat out a multiple offer situation. I always say that if you're in it to win it, then bring your highest and best. Most likely, this will mean going over list price and removing all of the contingencies that I just spoke about. This is going to make the seller feel like you're a great candidate and you are very serious. If you do the math, going over asking won't end up costing that much more in the long run. Now let's talk about earnest money. This is money to show that you have good faith, also commonly known as your deposit. On average, earnest money deposits are about 3% of the purchase price. Try to put down a larger amount if you can. This will help show that you are a very serious buyer who has good intentions. Maybe you can make a larger down payment on your loan program. Offering to pay more down is another sign of good faith. Anytime that you can show that you are in a good financial situation, this will make your offer stronger. You can also add an escalation clause. This has become very popular. What this means is that you will outbid other offers up to a maximum price. Your escalation clause would say that you will pay X price for the home, but if there is a higher offer, you will increase your offer to X price. Even when doing this, a seller may do a counter to all offers. The seller may potentially also raise the list price instead of providing a counter offer or accept an offer that has an escalation clause. The most obvious is to purchase with cash. All of us may not be able to do this, but this can make your offer more appealing to the seller who wants to have a quick close. In this transaction, the buyer and seller get to call the shots, not someone at the bank. With a finance deal, it is usually subject to finance contingencies, which can leave an open door for a buyer to walk. Dealing with cash offers, the buyers and sellers can be in control instead of a bank controlling the closing process. Lastly, it's super important to pay attention to the details of your offer. Every day there are mistakes made in this process. There may be missing disclosures, the earnest money, or important information for the purchase agreement may not be filled in properly, and sadly, this may end in the result of your offer getting tossed. Not to toot my own horn, but recently I wrote an offer for my wonderful buyers and we all held our breath knowing there was going to be multiple offers. Ours was accepted and the listing agent said that it was a beautifully written offer. This goes a long way with the listing agent and sellers alike. With a clean, beautifully written offer, there is less anticipation of things going wrong and more confidence in the transaction. If you want a fighting chance at all, then the T's need to be crossed and all I's dotted. If you have questions about the things to do in La Quinta or the Greater Palm Springs area, just let me know. If you are thinking of moving to La Quinta or the Greater Palm Springs area, buying or selling a home here, be sure to get in touch with me. I want to make your experience as smooth as possible. Now be sure to watch this next video.